Hi, everyone. This is Phil Travis, EUH 1000 here at SCF. It is week 10. This is an abbreviated week. It's Thanksgiving, so no major assignments this week. You have your discussion forum as usual, but because it's a short week because of Thanksgiving, I'm abbreviating the requirements for the discussion forum. All you need to do for full credit on the discussion forum is make one post and one reply on one day before Wednesday by midnight. So rather than the typical 2 days of activity, one post, two replies, just giving you one post, one reply, 1 day of activity because of the holiday week. It's Thanksgiving. So the week technically ends Wednesday at midnight, and I hope everybody has a really great Thanksgiving. We're reading this week chapter 12 and 14. We're looking at European exploration and the Columbian Exchange. The Columbian Exchange refers to an exchange of plants, animals, of goods, and ideas that results from European arrival in the New World. So as a result of Europeans, before European arrival in the New World, the Americas, North, South, Central America, and the Caribbean were completely cut off from the rest of the world. And the rest of the world, was very much connected through long trade networks, the so-called Silk Roads that connected Asia across land and sea routes, and then ultimately connected up through the Mediterranean to Europe and Africa. Europe, Africa, Asia were all interconnected prior to the beginning of European exploration in the 1400s. But of course, with 1492, with Columbus's arrival in the Americas, this, for the first time, incorporates the Americas into a global world system, where for the first time we see the origin of a truly interconnected global system, because the Americas had not been part of the world system before, and now the continent of North America, South America, of Central America, and the Caribbean were directly connected into the rest of the world. And this created tremendous ramifications for the world. Economics, tremendous amount of gold and silver would be taken by imperialistic conquerors from Spain, out of Mexico, and of course Peru. New resources would be grown. New crops would come from the Americas and be incorporated into European lifestyles. Religions and cultures would be destroyed in the New World, and Europeans would, forcibly convert individuals to Catholicism, therefore transforming the demographic and cultural makeup of the Americas. It is a tremendously profound development, the Columbian Exchange, as we call it, and one that has really remade the world, one that created an utter cultural or civilization catastrophe in the Americas, seeing the collapse of some of the world's greatest ancient civilizations like the Maya or the Aztecs, seeing the destruction of countless amounts of Native American cultures and civilizations and languages and so forth, while also simultaneously resulting in a huge economic growth for Europe and other parts of the world, resulting in also an increase in population in Europe as new crops meant better lifestyles for people living in Central Europe or in Northeastern Europe, for example, or Northwestern Europe, for example. Of course, you also see, as a result of the arrival of Europeans to colonize the Americas, the advent of the slave trade, which increasingly depopulated areas of Africa and brought new peoples into the Caribbean, into South America and North and Central America, therefore further changing the population demographic of the New World. So the Columbian Exchange is an incredibly profound event. Now here's the factoid for this week, and this factoid is kind of, you folks might find this interesting. So the factoid for this week is sort of a fun factoid, even though the Columbian Exchange is something that has a lot of very, very negative, shocking consequences. The massive destruction of populations that is an inherent part of the Columbian Exchange. But the factoid for this week is this. Remember, email me this factoid no later than Wednesday by midnight, and I will tabulate that and award you 1 bonus point on one of your tests at the end of the term. Do all of these, and you get several extra additional points. You get a total of 10 points if you do all of them during the term. So email me this factoid no later than Wednesday by midnight. The factoid is this. One of the creatures involved in the Columbian Exchange was actually the guinea pig. You know, an animal some of you might have had as a pet when you were younger. And the guinea pig, it comes from South America. It's an animal from the Andes Mountains. And the guinea pig was actually eaten by the Inca, the native peoples in what is modern-day Peru. And still to this day, if you go to Peru, you can eat guinea pig. But native people in Peru used to eat guinea pig. Well, Europeans, Spaniards, used the guinea pig for a different purpose. You have to remember that Spaniards who took the multi-week journey to the Americas would have had horrible hygiene. They would have smelled, they would have been dirty, and they would have also been suffering probably with fleas. And the guinea pig was actually used as an early version of hygiene. And the idea was, Spaniards would get a guinea pig and they'd keep it in a little crate, a little, cage, if you will. And the idea they had was that if you brought this guinea pig back to Europe with you and you carried it with you, that the fleas would jump off the person onto the guinea pig, thus ridding the person of this very, very frustrating and annoying, pest, the flea. So the guinea pig, first a delicacy for the Inca, but ultimately incorporated in the Columbian Exchange out of really a simple sort of primitive kind of hygiene effort to try to get fleas to jump off of Spaniards onto guinea pigs. All right, everybody, let's have a great week. Email me if you have any questions.